Alright, what's going on, guys? This is Easy Apotheosis, and I'm going to bring you guys another tutorial for the Draconic Reactor. This time around, I got a lot of comments on my previous video asking me to do a tutorial on my ComputerCraft setup here, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. Right now I've got kind of a basic setup here, but I'm going to be showing you guys step by step how to do this. And I have all of my code on pastebin, so you guys won't have to like write anything in yourself. You can just directly download it with your computers in your world. That is if you're still playing on 1.7, because right now it's June 9th, 2017, almost June 10th, because midnight is in an hour. So this is kind of assuming that people are still playing on 1.7, because I certainly am. So yeah, I'm not going to be going over anything new. Well, I'm not going to be going over anything from my last tutorial with the Draconic Reactor. So if you want to know about the core mechanics and basic functionality of the reactor, then you can go check out my last video, which deeply explains how the reactor actually works. But if you understand how it works already, then just continue watching and I'll show you guys how to set up my ComputerCraft setup with the reactor. So let's go over here, let's just keep that running for now, and we are going to just set up a new one over here. So you're definitely going to need 4 of these, one of these, 8 of these. Let's get cryo-stabilized flux ducts, flux gates. You'll need 2 of these. Also get a tesseract. Get some burnt quartz, because that is pretty much my favorite block in modded Minecraft 1.7 and in 1.10 if they haven't. So we're going to build up. This will be the core. Actually, let's put it below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do this. Pretty much building it exactly as I did in my last tutorial. So if you've already seen that, then you will know what to do. Just build a standard reactor, basically. By the way, I'm recording this video. This is pretty much the first video I've recorded with my brand new Blue Yeti. It's a beautiful mic, but the last mic I was using with my last tutorial was the Logitech G930 headset, which is a gaming headset. I don't think it's really meant for recording or any sound engineering or whatever. And there goes my in-game music. Okay, so basically I'm just building a standard reactor here. But we're also going to need computers. I'm going to grab an advanced computer, advanced monitor, and a cable. So I'll just put the computer here. Definitely need modems. Put it on the right side. This can go here. Cool. So this goes like this. So my setup is a little different from my last tutorial, but that's okay. So a tesseract actually goes up here, and then the flux gate goes directly into that tesseract, like this. And this, you can set this to whatever you want. Basically, this serves as a master output control flow gate, flux gate. So usually I just like to keep it at 1,000,000, because honestly in Minecraft, modded Minecraft, you're never going to need more than 1,000,000. Typically, for basically everything you can do in modded Minecraft, you're not going to need more than 1,000,000. So with 1,000,000 here, and this one will be, I usually keep it at 20 or 250,000. And I'll go ahead and put burnt quartz over here. Grab a lever. Potentiometer. So now that we have this, this serves as the master output switch. I already have this one set up over there, so we're gonna say this one's for YouTube. So this is this reactor will be outputting on the Tesseract channel called YouTube. So we gotta make sure this is an output, and also enable on redstone. So now we can flip the switch, and you can see it turns on and off. So now, what I'm gonna do here is simulate power output. I mean, simulate power storage here, because obviously I don't really want to put out I don't want to build a Draconic energy core right now, and I'm not really a big fan of energy storage anyway. Because if you have the power, then what's the point in storing it? If you have the power to basically power all of your devices, then I don't see any point in storing all that energy. Which is also why I think RotaryCraft is such a beautiful mod. So shout out to Reika. So we're gonna go ahead and insert fuel. Okay, so let's go ahead and get... You can use wireless. I actually recommend using wireless stuff here. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn down game volume here. Let's put this on frequency 2, because I think that one's using frequency 1. So now we can come over here, set that to output, set this to input. Flux gate, right there. And then, burnt quartz, where are you? There you are. We can set this right here. And then the wireless receiver goes here. Set that to the same frequency as this one. So you can use wireless wireless transceivers and stuff. Or you can just wire it directly from there to here, but I think it looks better to just use it wireless. But that also means that if anyone knows this frequency, they could probably mess with your reactor. So to be on the safe side, you could directly wire this over there. But, you know, usually if you know what you're doing, then you shouldn't have to worry about that. So now that we have all this... Oh yeah, I forgot. Usually what I like to do, I like to grab a sign and label these as they are. So this one I usually like to call the master output, master power control, because that's what it is. You control the power here directly. So this directly controls how much power you can draw out of the reactor. Master power control. And then this one I like to call master power switch. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Master power switch and power control. Okay, over here I call it output switch. I guess that makes sense. Let's call it the master output switch. Because it's not really the master power switch, because if you flip it off, technically it's still generating that power, so... I like to call it master output switch. I also apologize for my awesomely loud Corsair K95 RGB Platinum keyboard. I understand it's very loud, but you know, it's like having a Harley motorcycle. You want it to be loud. Loud and obnoxious. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our monitor here, because that's kind of the point of this build. And I guess we'll just... I'm not going to go that far out. So the default size is 5 wide and 4 tall. And there we go. Now we get a modem, put that there. Connect to the network. So now, you boot up the computer, and you gotta label it as whatever you want, honestly. This time we'll call it YouTubeComp. YouTubeComp. Whoops. Label kits. YouTubeComp. So this computer is called a YouTubeComp, and we do pastebin get. This is where you're getting my my programs, my scripts. So we're gonna get the startup script first, which is CFT2ABZJ. Name it startup, and I need you guys to name these exactly as I'm writing them here. So that'll be named startup. So if we go and take a look at it, it's pretty simple. You guys could probably just write this yourselves. So it basically just opens this in a tab, and then opens this in another tab. Whoops. And then pastebin get. We're gonna get the terminal script now. buasggvT. Reactor terminal. Alright, so here we go. This is the entire reactor terminal script. Pretty simple. Then we can do pastebin get m2qegsff. Save it as reactorInfo. And now we reboot. Actually, no, we don't reboot. We edit reactorInfo. And we gotta make sure we know which ID we're using here. We are using monitor_1 for this build, so we want to go down here and make sure this is monitor1. So this needs to match whatever monitor ID you're using in your build, so just go in there, change that. Whoops, I forgot to save it. I don't know how that happened. So this needs to be monitor1. Save, exit, reboot, and it'll work. Now we can see status offline. Oh, I forgot something here. Come over here. This needs to come from your reactor output. Ignored. That needs to be active all the time. So this will be coming from the reactor output. So let's turn that on. Master power control. That's 1,000,000. This should be 250,000. This, oh yeah, I forgot. This could be basically whatever number you want. This number basically just is how fast you want your reactor to charge. But I do recommend it should be above 300,000 RF per tick, because this also makes sure that your energy injector is fed with enough power. This isn't using like a analog redstone signal. It's more digital. It's either on or off. So it's either going to be 0 or all of this, based on whatever signal's coming out of this receiver here. So usually what I do, I just leave it at 500,000. It's basically good enough for everything. So now that we have all that, it's basically ready to go. Yeah, so the monitor basically automatically starts up when you reboot the computer after downloading the scripts. So even if I reboot it now, it'll do the exact same thing. It'll say, ZZ Apotheosis, Draconic Reactor. And then you go into displaying the information. So now we can go into the terminal, the reactor terminal here. You can see status, it's offline. Let's charge it. And we can see that it'll start to charge. And it's ready to go. So now we can go to the computer. Status charged. Well, start. Oh yeah, you can also type help. If you watched my last tutorial, you'll know that this used to be called reactor commands. Yeah, it was reactor commands, but I changed it to reactor terminal to make it look more like a terminal. So it actually basically looks identical to the shell. But you can't type clear. I might implement that later, but you know, clear isn't really clear doesn't really do anything helpful anyway. So I did implement a better terminal for the reactor, so now you can write terminal, or you can write help, you can write charge, start, shut down. You can also see the status now, so that's definitely new. It'll say it's charged, ready to go. Let's hit start, activating the reactor. And now you'll see things will start getting monitored here just fine. I also want to demonstrate something real quick. Wait, what is this? Oh shit. Yep. I forgot to do that. Emergency shutdown. Okay, guys. Well, this was a prime example of why my computer is one of the better ones out there. I totally expected this thing to blow up right now, but my computer saved the reactor. Because I forgot one crucial thing. Jeez. I forgot to set this to containment field inverted, and I forgot to get the comparator signal out. So, if you're following along this video, I apologize, but if you set your reactor up exactly as I did in this video, then you should have encountered the exact same situation that I just encountered. Holy crap. Okay, well, now that I just had a heart attack, let's go back up here. Charge it again. And it's ready. Now we start. Start. Whoa! Okay. And now things are fine. Holy crap, that scared the shit out of me. Okay, so I was going to demonstrate something. Let's grab a Tesseract. Put it right here. Trash can. Lever. I'm definitely going to set this to redstone signal high. Oh, it's already set up? Okay. Except this is going to be receive only. Actually, I should probably bring it over. Here. Okay, so this is basically serving as a drain. This is just going to drain energy out of the reactor at a rate of... What's this? Okay, Facebook notifications. Sorry. So this will be draining at a rate of 400,000 RF per tick based on the master power control. So if I go ahead and flip this, take a good look at the stats right now, you can see that... Wait, what? Okay, now it should be going back down. Right. Hello. Energy saturation is going up. Temperature is going down. There we go. So now, you can see temperature's going down. That's not for long, because if we're going to drain all that energy out. And you can see that it's slowing down, it's going up now. I'm doing this because I want to demonstrate the fact that this new ComputerCraft script, which is, it's not totally new. I only implemented a new feature that will display the problems with the reactor like it did before I just had a heart attack there. It will display any problems, if there are any. Right now there's no problems. But in case something seems wrong about the reactor, it will display it as a problem here. And along with that problem, it will display a solution. So this ComputerCraft program should help new guys, beginners with the reactor, excuse me. Should help beginners get to know the reactor. I mean, obviously they should study a little bit before they try to build this thing. Yeah, right now we're draining 400,000 RF per tick into the trash, literally. And once we start getting some problems here, it will display those problems. So right now we're draining 400,000 RF per tick. Right now it doesn't see it as a problem yet. But we're about to see that happen here on my monitor here. And you guys will be able to implement this in your world as well, which is pretty awesome. In order to speed this up, I should probably bump up the power. So now we're draining an extra 66,666 RF per tick into the trash. And now we can see the computer recognizes that the energy saturation is getting low. So it's displaying that as a warning here and as a problem. So it's saying energy saturation is too low. And it'll display the solution to that problem, which is reduced power demand. And that's basically the same with the temperature as well. So if we, yeah, it'll say the reactor's too hot, guys. 7200 Celsius. It's 15%, and it's getting really low, so it'll display it as danger now. So the only solution to fix both of these problems is to reduce power demand. So if we go over here, flip this switch, we just reduce the power demand, so things should level out, things should stabilize, and you can see it is. And it'll say, no problems. So that's basically one of the only problems you'll ever face with this reactor. If you're drawing too much power out of it, it'll tell you if the reactor's too hot or if the energy saturation is too low. So that's basically pretty much the biggest problem that players face when they use this reactor. They want to get as much power as possible. They see all these clickbait videos on YouTube of people getting 2 million RF per tick out of this thing, and then they go and try to do that with 0% fuel conversion, and it just doesn't work. And they end up blowing up their house, and then they go crazy and they get triggered or whatever. But with this reactor, it should be able to help ease players into the process and help people understand how it works. So, and why is Wayla off? What is this? There we go. So now if I go and flip the switch again, we can see the temperature will start going up right now. And energy saturation is going down because we're basically drawing all that power out of it. The generations are going up. Basically, I don't really pay too much attention to how much power this thing is generating. The fact of the matter is that this reactor technically can supply power to anything, but if you supply too much power, then it'll just blow up. Now we can see that the core is getting hot. Saturation is getting low. I also want to show you guys what happens when you're not supplying enough redstone flux to the energy injector. I just reduce that to like 1K, 100K. And now we will see that the field strength will go down. Hopefully it'll go down first and get into the warning zone before the energy saturation. It looks like it will. So now it'll say containment field strength is not strong enough. Supply more power to the energy injector. This is basically what happened the first time. So now if I do this, set it back to 250K, it'll say no problems, because it's easily supplying all the power that it needs. So that is also a problem that I accounted for when I was writing this script. And it'll also let the user know when fuel conversion is kind of getting too high. I mean, basically nobody's gonna get to, well, I wouldn't say nobody, but most players are not going to get to like 80% fuel conversion because it just takes so long for the fuel to get that high, or for the fuel to convert that much, or whatever. So that's how you build it. I guess you can leave right now if you want to, but for the remainder of this video, I'm going to go to my single player world and show you guys what I've done. So here we are in the asteroid belts. This is where I'm living now. Such a beautiful place. This is kind of my master setup right now. It's basically a maxed out ME controller down there, and this is like a little room where basically I can access everything I own. So if I go outside to my reactor here, this is my setup, which is basically exactly how I showed you guys. So we go in here, we can see that everything's fine, no problems. Energy saturation is fine, my field strength is fine, power generation, temperature, everything's fine about my reactor. And I can show you guys how I have it set up. So my master power switch is controlling this tesseract, which is my reactor. Send only from my reactor, and then I have it coming over here. And this is basically my master wall of power distribution. So all these switches directly control any power that I want to route my reactor to. So right now, obviously, I started on Earth, and most of my machines are actually still on Earth, and I don't feel like moving them up to the asteroids right now. So instead, I just have a tesseract going from here all the way back to Earth to power my workshop over there. And I also have a couple other things that I want to separately power. So I have those broken up into different switches here, like my automatic sieves. I can shut that off. My agricraft farms, no more tree farm, no more mobs. Turn off all my laser drills. Oh my god, my super smelter. I could demonstrate that later if you want. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that later. So if we go in here, I basically turn off all my loot stuff. And you can see now that there's not much coming in now. You can see some fish and stuff, ink sac, stone. I think I do have a stone generator on Earth, and it's just constantly putting out 32 stone, smooth stone. Ink sac, earth essence, yeah, it's pretty dead right now. But if we go back to my power control and turn these things back on, I don't need lava right now, so that's why I'm leaving that off. Oops, go in here. We can see everything's functioning again. I'm gonna go back to Earth just to show you guys. Actually, first, what I need to do, quite honestly, is turn some stuff off. So let's turn off my laser drills. This. Actually, let's turn this off too, my Earth Workshop, because I think I do have a backup power system on Earth, which will actually keep my workshop powered even though I'm not directly supplying power from my reactor here. So now that everything is basically off, let's go over yonder. And we have liftoff. We are going to Earth, and it appears to be nighttime. Alright, here we are. So since I turned all that stuff off, you will be able to see that my mob grinder over here, this is my entire mob grinder here, I have tons of powered spawners in here. Turned off the power to this, so no more mobs. I also turned off my my power to my Earth Workshop, which is this Tesseract here. It's directly supplying all the power to my workshop. This place is a complete mess, by the way. I apologize for that. So since all of this is basically powerless now, I have a power monitor here from Ender.io monitoring all the power on this network. So once it reaches like a certain threshold, it'll automatically turn on this backup reactor, which is labeled backup power. And it'll go ahead and keep this place running, even though my reactor at home isn't doing anything about it. So this is my lava generator here. This is the one I have turned off pretty much all the time because I have so much lava right now. And that's going into its own ender tank. And likewise, I can actually turn that off. Yeah, I'm not going to need that. Not right now anyway. I turned off my tree farm power. And it looks like it's running on its last leg here. Yeah, it's pretty much down here. So now, no more power to my tree farm, so I won't be getting any more trees. Tree wood or whatever. Alright, here's my automatic sieves. So once I turn off the power to this, it stops working almost immediately because this thing consumes RF very fast. So that is totally dead now. This is the super smelter, by the way. I have, I think this is like 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. I have 10 elite smelting factories from Mechanism, all fully upgraded. So if I'm kind of getting off topic, by the way. So now if I go get some cobblestone. And just dump it in here. And we can see that my stone count is rapidly increasing. Holy crap. I think that is about a stack of stuff every second. Because I think in Mechanism smelters, it takes 1 second or 20 ticks for one crafting or one smelting job. And since each one of these elite smelting factories has 7 slots and I have 10 of these, it does 70 at a time. So that's actually making 70 items per second, which is impressive. You can see my tree farm is no longer working because I cut power to that. But at the same time, we can go back to my place real quick. Well, not real quick. This is actually kind of slow. Alright, so we're coming back. So yeah, that's basically it. My ComputerCraft script is pretty sweet. I mean, it's mainly just for monitoring, but honestly, what else do you need the computer for? I've seen other people's work out there. I've seen that ComputerCraft program with the 2x2 monitor, where you can kind of interact with it, and actually, I admit, it does look really good. But in the grand scheme of things, that's basically just a gimmick, because you don't need to control your reactor through your computer. Because the way I have it set up, it's more hardware oriented. So you go outside, if something goes wrong with your reactor, you have a master power switch that you can run to and flip in case something goes wrong. And you also have the master power control that you can directly control. So I like my setup because it feels like I'm working with a real reactor and not just punching buttons on a screen. So yeah, that's basically it. So if you guys like this video, leave a like. If not, leave a dislike. But I genuinely hope that, for those of you who are still playing on 1.7, I hope that this helped you. And I hope that you could show off to your friends your awesome ComputerCraft build for your Draconic Reactor, because I do like it. It's pretty freaking awesome. So yeah, thanks guys. Thank you all for watching, and this is ZZApotheosis signing out.